Welcome to my channel, where I share lots of recipes, tips and business strategies for aromatherapists, reflexologists and other holistic therapists. And this is the fifth and final episode in a mini-series about natural vegetable oils and how to use them in your holistic therapy practice and with essential oils. Today it's all about beautiful coconut oil, which is a fantastic antibacterial, antiviral and antifungal healer. Coconut oil, it's one of the most loved oils in holistic therapy, but it's not actually an oil. To get notifications when I create a new video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. What we're going to cover today. If coconut oil isn't an oil, what actually is it? We look at fractionated versus non-fractionated coconut oil and which type is the best to use. The incredible skin healing properties of coconut oil. An extra psoriasis tip using oats for exfoliation, and plus a story to show you the power of that. A powerful psoriasis blend of essential oils which you can combine with coconut oil. How to use coconut oil in massage, reflexology and your other holistic treatments, and a really handy tip to make application very easy. And what's next? So before I go into that, why would you listen to me? My name is Jenny and I'm a holistic therapist educator and have been for over 20 years. I've trained hundreds of successful aromatherapists. I can help you go from complete beginner to certified aromatherapist in just 6 months using my online accredited training. I help holistic therapists to boost their income. My students have used my methods to increase bookings, raise rates and add new income streams to their holistic therapy practices. I like learning that's fun, practical and actually gets results. So my teaching has no fluff, it's just easy to follow and actionable. Coconut oil, it's not actually an oil, so what is it? It's actually a drupe. D-R-U-P-E. A drupe is a fruit with a hard outer shell and a seed inside. So peaches and olives are other examples of drupes. When coconut oil is solid at room temperature, it's technically not an oil. Coconut oil melts at around 24 degrees, which is why it becomes liquid in warmer weather. So fractionated versus non-fractionated. Fractionated coconut oil is the liquid version. It's processed to remove fatty acids, so it stays liquid at all room temperatures. It has a light texture and it's easy to work with in massage and reflexology. But, big but, it loses some, if not all, of the beneficial antioxidants and healing properties found in non-fractionated or solid coconut oil. Non-fractionated virgin coconut oil is the best choice if you're looking for powerful therapeutic properties. So the solid version is anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral and antifungal. It is fantastic for psoriasis. I'm going to share more information on psoriasis as we move through the episode. It's also really good for eczema and dry skin because it creates a protective barrier and locks in moisture. It's rich in antioxidants that help to repair the skin and that are also very good for skin rejuvenation. The downside is it's solid at room temperature, so it needs to be gently melted before you can blend it with essential oils or use it in a treatment, and I'll explain a bit more about that as we go on. The healing properties of coconut oil. It's deeply moisturising. It helps repair and rebuild the skin's natural barrier. It's anti-inflammatory and skin healing. It reduces redness, irritation and inflammation in damaged skin. It's antibacterial, antiviral and antifungal, as I already mentioned. So it naturally fights infections, bacterial, viral, fungal infections, including athlete's foot, warts, verruca, etc. It soothes itchy, flaky skin. So really good for psoriasis, for eczema and for very dry skin. It's rich in lauric acid, which is a natural antimicrobial that helps prevent infection in cracked skin. So I've mentioned psoriasis a couple of times, so I'm going to share a story. Coconut oil really helped one of my clients. She came in for a back massage and she didn't mention that she had psoriasis. She had it around her, I think it was her elbows. And as she had got dressed and she was leaving and we were chatting a bit, and she was mentioned that her psoriasis had flared up and it was really irritating her. So she didn't have any time to say for extra treatment or anything like that. So I had some coconut oil and I gave her some and said, look, just apply that to the areas that are affected. I didn't know if that on its own would have a big benefit, but within the hour she rang me and said that she couldn't believe it, that the psoriasis had completely cleared up. Now, of course, that is not a proof that anyone who has psoriasis is going to get the same result, but it is very typical. And I always recommend somebody who's suffering from psoriasis to try the coconut oil. There is a very good chance there's going to be a marked difference, and if not, it's not going to do any harm whatsoever. So, the extra tip I spoke about, using oats for exfoliation, and I have a story about that. So, why oats? Oats and oatmeal is a natural skin soother, anti-inflammatory, and it gently exfoliates without irritation. With psoriasis, what happens is that the skin is growing so fast that the top layer hasn't fallen off before the next layer is up. And that gives us its kind of shiny, scaly appearance. It's very uncomfortable. So, because oats is a gentle exfoliator, it helps you get rid of that extra skin cell, or extra layer of skin cells. And how would you use it? You would use oat flakes or powdered oats, not pinhead. Pinhead would be very uncomfortable. And what you do is put a handful into a muslin bag or a pop sock or any other suitable container, and you dampen the bag or pop sock and use it as a cleanser. So you're getting all the benefits of the oats into your skin. And if psoriasis is affecting the whole body, what you could do is have a bath and tie the bag or whatever you're using under the tap, and as the water is flowing through, it's releasing all those lovely properties of the oats. And then you can use the bag as a washcloth as well. I knew a girl who had psoriasis and she had started using oats and she was using them all the time. The psoriasis had cleared up. She hasn't had an outbreak in I think a couple of years. But she still used the oats because she liked them and they felt lovely on her skin. They're actually very good for any skin type. You don't need to have psoriasis to use oats. She went off on holidays, and one of the things about psoriasis is that when you're feeling relaxed, you're less likely to have an outbreak. And also, sunshine is a good way to help prevent outbreaks. But while she was on holidays, having a lovely relaxing time in the sunshine, she had her first outbreak of psoriasis in years. She hadn't brought oats with her and she wasn't able to get her hands on them there. As soon as she came home, she started using the oats and the psoriasis cleared up again. Now again, that's not an indication that that's going to be the same for everyone who has psoriasis, but it's certainly worth a try, and I've heard a lot of people getting a lot of benefits from oats. So an essential oil blend for psoriasis. What you need is 20 ml, which is 4 teaspoons, of non-fractionated solid coconut oil. And you melt it by putting the amount of coconut oil you need into a small container and putting that into a larger container with warm water. So I'm talking glass or ceramic containers, not plastic. And you leave there for a few minutes until the coconut oil has melted. And then you add 3 drops of lemon essential oil, which is fantastic for removing dead skin. 3 drops of bergamot essential oil, which is great for inflammation. It boosts skin healing and it eases stress. And the majority of skin conditions are aggravated by stress. And 2 drops of cypress essential oil, and cypress is detoxifying. And quite often toxins from food, from the air around us, can cause or aggravate an outbreak. This is a blend that you would use for adults. An adult in aromatherapy terms is someone who is over 12 years old. If someone has sensitive skin, you would need to use half the amount of essential oils. And how to use it? You simply apply once or twice a day. I usually suggest to people that they would use it every morning, every evening at least, and then other times as well if they have a chance. You can also use this as a preventative. So when you don't have, if you tend to have psoriasis, you can use it when you don't have an outbreak, and it will help to reduce the severity and the frequency of the outbreaks. This recipe is lovely for hydration, reducing redness and supporting skin repair, and it smells absolutely lovely. Contraindications to the blend: don't use lemon or bergamot essential oils on skin that will be exposed to bright sunlight or sunbeds within 48 hours. Oils that come from citrus fruits can cause severe burns in bright sunlight or sunbeds. And also don't use cypress oil during pregnancy. There's an outside chance it could bring on a period. And while I've never heard of essential oils having caused any damage to a baby or a mother, I always say with aromatherapy, you're much better to err on the side of caution. And how would you use coconut oil in your treatments? So using coconut oil in massage and reflexology, it's absolutely lovely. Coconut oil melts at body temperature and it gives an absolutely beautiful feeling. It feels just amazing on the skin, and your skin feels amazing afterwards, and the smell is just beautiful. Well, I know that's a subjective thing, but I just love the smell of coconut. It gives a beautiful, nourishing glide without feeling too greasy, so it absorbs really easily. It works really well for deep tissue massage, foot reflexology, any kind of hydrating treatments, for facials. Even a mini facial at the end of a treatment with coconut oil would be lovely. So how are you actually going to use the coconut oil when it's solid? What I do, I use a waxing stick to scoop out the amount of oil that I need. I just put it onto my pan and then work away. And as I need more, use the waxing stick again. And that is going to keep your jar clean and help to prevent contamination. Coconut oil makes a beautiful hair and scalp mask, and that's a lovely upgrade. So someone's coming for a massage or reflexology treatment, offer them an upgrade, €10–15 of coconut oil scalp nourishing treatment. Scalp mask sounds better actually. So what you do is you would melt the coconut oil by placing it into a small container within a larger container, as I mentioned earlier. And then just use the oil as you need. So obviously just check that's not going to be too hot. Pour it onto your hands first and then massage it down into the scalp. It's really, really good for hydration of the scalp. it helps to soothe and balance scalp health. A little tip when you're using a scalp mask or a hair mask is that I would give the person the option of leaving the oil in their hair. And to leave it in as long as possible. Their hair will look oily, but it's going to be amazing the next day or even a few hours later. And what they do, they put the shampoo into their hair while the hair is dry, and then they use water. Because if you put water in your hair first, oil and water don't mix, and it's going to take forever to get the oil out of the hair. So it's a lovely treatment for scalp hydration, for moisturising the hair. This helps soothe and balance the hair and the scalp. It's a treatment that's going to cost you less than pennies. A couple of scoops of coconut oil is not expensive. And it's going to be very beneficial for the client because it is so relaxing. The client feels really pampered, and it really benefits their hair and their scalp. So I hope that you enjoyed that. And if you'd like to learn more about how to use natural oils, essential oils and other products like aloe vera gel, rose water, witch hazel and more in skin treatments, why don't you check out my aromatherapy skincare course? Even if you're not an aromatherapist, you can get certified to use the recipes covered in the course, and there is a lot of recipes in the course. So, as always, thanks very much for listening, and I'll see you for the next one. And as I mentioned, if you prefer to read instead, check out my blog post, which also includes the podcast episode and the video. Thanks a million for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.